Hello everyone, my name is Comet, and today I am gonna be ranking every single one of the spells here in Clash of Clans. So, let's begin! To begin with, I am gonna be putting in the must-have tier, in the S tier, right off the back, the Rage spell, because this is a spell that you will most likely use in every single one of your attacks. Period. This is the best spell in the entire game by a long shot. It works on almost anything. Air troops, ground troops, queen walks, warden walks, kings. Like Sui type of strategies. It's just really good, man. You want this always. Um, Next is gonna be something that it is as equally as useful and that you will most likely be using a lot in your attacks as well, and that is the freezing spell. Freezing spell is just very powerful, man. Like, there's no denying that if you don't know what to use as a spell on your attacks, you can always fill it, with one extra freezing spell. Like, it's really, really strong because it allows you to lock for a very long time those defenses that might otherwise do a lot of damage to you. And then, however, I'm gonna put something that you wouldn't really think is that good until you start having max level troops and doing like higher level strategies. Um, and I'm talking about the invisibility spells. I know there are a lot of people, especially when they go wipe, when they go um, bowlers type of strategies. They don't really use these, and especially when they use electro dragons stuff like that. They never think about using the invisibility spell. But once you start doing queen walks, once you start doing warden walks, once you start doing blizzard, super archer blimps, blimp bombs, and all of these super high level attacks, this becomes a must have. It's always nice to have the invisibility, and I will even rate it above the freeze spell because of how important it is to have the invisibility on the higher town halls. And not only this, even if you are playing in the lower town halls, invisibility will save your attack because this resets the aggro on anything around it. It's not like because the way that you use it for is you will be using it on your troops or on the enemy structures so that your troops ignore the structures. So that is how strong this thing is. It's insanely powerful. So this right here is the best control spell in the entire game because you will be able to control your troops and the enemy defenses very effectively with it. Next, though, is something that is the opposite. Something that, well, if the invisibility is something that people wouldn't think is that good, but in reality is very powerful, the next spell is something that a lot of people think is good, but in reality is not. Yes, the lightning spell. The lightning spell, I know that a lot of people say, how can you say that the lightning spell is not that good when I can drop it on these annoying air defenses and make my attack succeed? And the reason why is because you are using 5 spots, at least, of lightning spells, or let's say 3 spots of lightning spells, to destroy those defenses. When you could have used 1 freezing spell and 1 rage spell. And that rage is gonna make your air troops go and destroy all of the structures around before that troop dies, and then it's gonna destroy the air defense. This is why this is what I would call a noob trap. Every time I see someone use a lightning spell when they join my clan, I'm like, oh boy, we are in for a ride here. This is a noob trap. It makes you think that you are actually achieving a lot, but you're actually just wasting spell spots when you do that. And the truth is that strategy will work sometimes, but it's only gonna be in very unique scenarios where you cannot reach that defense, and therefore you have to snipe it with the lightning spell. And I will say something. This right here, will do more damage than the lightning spell, and this only costs one spot as well. And by itself, it will do so much more damage than multiple lightning spells even. This is why I'm gonna be writing right here, and this is the earthquake spell. Because, for example, in the higher town halls, what you should do is that you are gonna face scatter shot or eagle artillery or very high HP defenses like that. And with the earthquake, you're gonna reduce heavily the HP of that structure. Enough, like you're gonna reduce it enough so that you can finish it off with your troops or other spells. And this is really what you want to be using for sniping those stuff, not these. You know, you never want to waste so many slots, spare slots on this, man. It's just, like I said, it's a noob trap. And even though those situations do exist, though, but when those situations exist, where you want to use the lightning spell, or rather, if those situations exist, um, you might want to use one earthquake instead of two lightning spells, you know, something like that. The earthquake will make up for it. You still will use lightning spells, obviously, because you needed to finish off the structure. But you are gonna be using this instead, you know, like earthquake is a must have for those sniping bases. Aside from that scenario, this is not good. But this will be good because it will hit the town hall as well, and it will allow you to finish off those structures. Always, you know, this is really what you want to be using rather than this. But not in a stack, but rather one of them, you know, or two, three of them in different sectors of the map. That's usually how you use the earthquake. However, the earthquake will become less valuable for your attacks as you unlock the log launcher. So the log launcher really is going to be a better earthquake, but you can still use the earthquake to lower the HP of the very high HP defenses, and therefore it's very powerful spell to consider. And I'm gonna put it right here. Next is gonna be a very situational spell as well, which is the jump spell. It is really good when you want to redirect your queen walks, or when you are farming with super goblins. But aside from that, you will not use it. It's a very specific, very situational, a very situational spell, you know. Next, speaking of specific, now this is a spell that you will only use in a specific type of army. However, it's not situational because you're gonna be using these armies quite a lot. Now I'm talking, for example, about I'm talking specifically about the Super Archer Blimp. In the Super Archer Blimp, you really want to use the clone spell because it will allow you to have more archers once you drop the blimp, and with that you're gonna destroy a huge area on the enemy base. So this is definitely a strong thing to have, but it is something that will only work in those specific armies. Now, Super Archer Blimp was at the beginning of Total 15 the most common type of attack, I think. You really want the blimp with Super Archers to destroy a huge portion of the map. In Total 14, it's also very important, so definitely it will work for that. Aside from the Super Archer Blimp, though, you will never use this spell more often than not. And next is gonna be the same for the healing spell. Now the healing spell will work mostly in the lower town halls. Once you get into the higher town halls, you will never use it. However, I have to put it on specific armies, because when those armies in the lower town halls, these things will get like this thing right here, the healing spell, will really provide you with enough power to finish off your attack. Definitely needs to be here. Then in the very powerful, I'm gonna put in the same sense something that is more widely used, which is gonna be the haste. The haste is gonna be good for any balloon attack. You cannot go wrong with it. Rage is more powerful, but you cannot go wrong with haste neither. And you can use more of them. So sometimes you would rather have the speed rather than the power. So definitely, I'm gonna put this right here. Then it's an attack that many people, or it's a spell that many people use on Town Hall 11 and Town Hall 14, which is the bats. The bat spell is really good to engage in your attack or to do a cleanup of certain defenses. So definitely, in fact, I would even say that this is a better version of lightning. um, except if the person has multiple multi-target infernos. But if they don't, the bad spells are really good, man. They are so powerful. In fact, I had a clanmate that used bad spells only against any Town Hall. In fact, he used bad spells with Electro Dragons against any Town Hall 11, and it was always a 3 stars, because the bad spells get things done, man. They really do. So yeah, this is a definitely must have. Next is gonna be oh man, this I'm gonna rate this now. I do not have the recall icon, so I'm imagining that this is the recall spell. Just use your imagination here. Recall spell is gonna be really good to use with a blimp full of balloons, because you're gonna be able to send your blimp. You release your balloons. The balloons will destroy the army, the armored town hall, and then you recall them so they don't get destroyed. And same for example, the Yetis. You know, this is really good to save your army like that. But it's something that you're not gonna be using in, like, I'm gonna put it just right here, because it's actually I do see it quite often, especially in Town Hall 12 and 13. But it's not something that you will be using that much in 14 and 15, you know. And definitely you cannot even have it in the lower levels. So it's for very specific armies. But those armies it does work well. So it's definitely worth having. Next, now these two. Fuck me. Well, I think if you play in Town Hall 9, you know that this is a must-have always, because it will allow you to destroy the Clan Castle troops. But it became even more valuable in the Town Hall 15, because in Town Hall 15 people are starting to use a more variety, like a wider variety of defenses, or of defensive troops, sorry. And because of that, since you don't know what you're gonna face, you just need one. That way you can get rid of whatever it's in there. This alone will also get rid of super minions. So it's a must-have, really, on almost every single one of your Clan War attacks or Clan War League attacks. And speaking of must-haves, with the addition of the Monolith, you need this in every single one of your Town Hall 15 attacks. Now, this might not be that powerful in any Town Hall below Town Hall 15, but because you really need it on Town Hall 15, like I'm telling you, I'm probably gonna be putting it in, I don't know, here. You need this, because otherwise the Monolith will destroy you. Monolith is so fucking strong that it will destroy you. So you really need to have skeleton spells, because what it does is that it will summon a skeleton that has a helmet, and the monolith has to attack it multiple times, just to destroy one skeleton, and that will give you enough time so that, let's say, a royal champion can come and destroy the monolith, or your queen can destroy the monolith, or something like that. So this is like a distraction spell, and it works in the same way to distract, um, and to distract scatter shots or eagle artilleries, or to snipe eagle artilleries by itself, because sometimes people make a wide open area, um, that can be destroyed by a skeleton. So for example, they put the eagle artillery right here, but there's no defenses around it, so you can just drop a skeleton spell and destroy it. So this is a must-have, I think. And this was my tier list of the spells. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think, and let me know in the comments if you have been a victim of lightning, because man, a lot of my clanmates use it, and when they changed to rage, they were like, "There's a difference, man. Wow, thank you." you know, and I say this, you know, because I was a victim of lightning trap myself. So it's not from hate. It's not from um, trying to diminish the achievements of others. It's because I myself used to use it a lot, and as soon as I changed this for other spells, for other spells, I realized that this is not that good, and it only works in very specific situations, very specific scenarios. Um, so yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about this tier list. Um, and once again, my name is Comet, and I am signing out. Peace.